I was happy to not be the first gay.
The first gay.
There were a couple more first.
I found out at a
How
wedding
many?
when my cousins were gay. I don't like speak to my family, but like all the cousins like get along, and we both go to my cousin's wedding. I haven't seen my cousin Amanda in fucking years, and she comes up to me and she's like, "Thank God there's another gay in the family." And I was like, "Amanda, what?"
Now, Demi, did they ever pull the card on you? It's like, you're like this because of your cousins, because they're like that, and you hang out too much with them or stuff like that? Or
No,
they
no,
never
no.
did that?
The other gays, there's only two, as
Uh-huh.
far as we know.
It's like the older generation.
They're the generation before me, and then the generation before that. So none of them are my age.
Okay.
It's like my dad's direct cousin, so my second cousin, and he's over 50 at this point. And then my uncle Kevin, who is my grandmother's brother.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like all super old guys,
Yeah.
but not the first gay. And apparently, people hate men on men more than they hate women on women. So
I don't
it really
understand
made me
why,
feel
but
super gentle.
whatever.
You had a boyfriend named Matt for a long time.
I did have a boyfriend named Matt that no one met, and you know,
It's me.
But they did.
But they did.
I
Oh,
told her,
that's
I was
awesome.
like, I can always show up in like saggy shorts, fucking socks with sandals, and a wife beater on and introduce myself as Matt.
I was so ready for that.
And
Like a wig.
paint a little bit of a beard around your
Yeah.
chin.
Yeah.
Like a crooked hat.
Eminem.
Yeah,
Oh,
apparently
that's
Matt
is from
awesome.
Jersey. I got it.
You
Oh,
know,
that's funny.
it makes it easier. But
Eminem is my god.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Anywho,
That's so awesome.
Thanksgiving went great.
Yeah, I can see that.
It did. My parents are so much better now. It just took 2 years.
Yeah, I don't have a choice.
Well, that's more than what many people
Mm-hmm.
have like had to like how can I say deal with that, because there's like I have a friend that's still after a year maybe, no, more than a year, I think 3 years now that I think of it, and they're still like trying to cope with the idea that their son is gay.
Yep. It's one of those things where it's like, you can continue being in my life, but
Or you can fuck off and I'll have no regrets.
Yeah.
oh no,
It's-
I'll have regrets. I'll be super sad.
I won't.
I mean,
Yeah.
no regrets in the aspect that you're like making yourself be respected, you know.
Yeah.
You say
I'm not
somebody's going to change their mind, and it's not going to be me.
Yeah, it's not gonna be me.
Yeah,
I already
right.
put it out there.
They'll
Deal with
die
it.
before I change my mind.
Yeah, it's not even a mind change. Like that's not an option.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
You can change your mind, mom and dad, but
Yeah,
I'm not
I won't change
capable of
mine.
just changing that.
yeah.
I'll fuck off and lead a happy gay life, apparently.
Gay.
Goddamn gay.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, this is episode number 54. This one's called Tempe.
What does that mean?
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Tempe is the name of the capital city.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Someone did not take notes.
Oops. Hey, it's been a while. Okay, I don't even remember what was the last thing. So let's
Last
hear the
time-
recap.
Yeah, I'll just give you a quick rundown of what happened last time.
Yeah.
So you
Last
are
time.
part of a diplomatic mission. Let's just start from the very beginning, Jason. You're playing a character in a Dungeons and
When
Dragons
you were
game.
born.
Your name is Arvistan. You are a sea elf ranger.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not going to do that anymore because I think I've got you jogged back in it now.
Okay, yeah. I like where this is going.
Your party was traveling down the river to the capital city of Tempe. You're in Mochipa, looking to speak to the Empress on behalf of the city of Karenia that is being invaded right now by the neighboring nation of Internum. You need to talk to Mochipa either to get warriors to help you fight off the invasion, or to get magical stones called magite that are mined in Mochipa that can help with the war effort, or both. Ideally, you would get both of those things. Last time you stopped at a small village, you were returning a lost boy to the village after he'd been attacked by wildlife. And when you got there, you found that there was a funeral taking place. One of the older women in the village had recently passed away, and they were placing offerings on a stretcher that the woman's body was on, that you later found out were designed to try to keep a group of black pudding oozes at bay.
That I did not like at all.
They're living inside of trees not far away from the village. Gideon is not happy that they are using bodies and rotten foods to try to keep these things away, because he's thinking that feeding them is probably going to just lure them closer. But your mission at this point is not to save this village of maybe a few dozen people. You have more important things to worry about. You fought the oozes on your way to Tempe. Gideon Lagoon, who is your guide through Mochipa, sort of a local hero of sorts, is a big Omni guy. He's almost twice the size of any of you, as big as your horse that's no longer with you, is leading you through the jungle at this point. And so we've got everybody walking on foot. We've left Ghost. We've sent him back on the raft with a couple of frog boys who are hopefully going to take care of him. Arvistan tried to give them instructions on how to take care of a horse. They did their best to try to understand what he was talking about, but horses are kind of outside of their purview. So hopefully that goes well. It's not like a horse is super hard to deal with. They just have to feed it. Gideon is leading you through thick overgrowth. It's kind of concerning that the path to the capital city of Mochipa, this is a large continent, a big nation, and there's supposedly a large city at the center of it. This path is not really a path at all. There's not a road that leads to what should be like a major destination. So it's kind of odd that Gideon is taking you through. He's pulling out his big greatsword and cutting through swaths of vines and overgrowth to try to clear a path for everybody to move forward. We've got Gideon up front. I'd like to know what your marching order is. So who's right behind Gideon?
Probably me. Okay, yeah.
It's going to be cool. Ravi tried to get up right next to Gideon. Crib's like, no, I'm going up front. I guess I'll put Ravi right behind. Arvistan, where are you?
I'll be right behind Robbie.
Do you have your wolf with you? Or do you have
Yes,
Luna in
sir.
another position? I should say that means you're pulling up the rear with Shell.
Yup.
Shell is easily distracted, so you often have to turn around to try to just sort of reacquaint her with what you're supposed to be doing. There's a lot going on in the jungle. There's a lot of wildlife hanging around, making noises. There's a lot of distractions, and she's just much more interested in what's going on around. This is also the first time that Shell's really had any major interaction with wild axebeaks like herself. So she's kind of got an eye out for those as you guys are moving forward. Let's have everybody make survival checks.
Oh boy.
This is a new day, right?
Yeah, this will be a new day.
Okay.
14.
14's pretty good. 7?
17.
17.
I
I
have a
got
6 survival.
nice. I got 15.
And I got 12.
Okay. So that's really not too bad all around. Gideon, in his preparations for the journey to Tempe, while he was hiring the Frog Brothers and the raft to be able to take you up the river most of the way, was also able to provide you guys with a kind of salve, kind of like a sticky, pungent goo that you kind of spread on your skin to help repel insects. Mosquitoes are going to be the major one, and the big issue with mosquitoes around Mochipa is that they'll carry diseases that Karenians aren't prepared for. You don't have immune systems that can respond to these things appropriately. So you've got to make sure that you're not getting bit too often, so you don't risk catching whatever virus these little bug things are carrying. But there are also, big ants. The ants that are kind of like the size of your nose. And if you get attacked by a colony of ants or a swarm of ants that are that size, they could really do some damage. You get a couple hundred of those covering you. The repellent helps keep them away also. And there are, bees, leeches, tiny little amphibious creatures that can burrow their way under your skin and sort of do kind of inflict a kind of necrosis on your flesh that makes parts of you just kind of rot and fall off. So luckily everyone's rolled high enough to remember to cover their bodies with all of that salve so that they don't get into big trouble. Luna and Shell don't have to be as concerned. Their hides help protect them a little bit more than everyone else's bare skin. Because these things are generally interacting with Omni folk in Mochipa that have those thicker hides. Gideon also, he's got a lot of fur that he doesn't have to worry so much. It is warm. So let's see. Arvistan, you're not dressed for this kind of climate. Most certainly.
I do have some holes and they're from the fight. So does that like venting?
It's not going to be the best option. Around here, it's not the heat that gets you, it's the humidity. And we're getting into the rainy season, so that's
Yeah.
ratcheting up even more. You're covered almost head to toe in cloaks and hoods, gloves.
Yeah.
You're trying to mask your appearance as much as possible, but that's causing you
Yep.
a little bit of detriment to your body temperature.
Yay.
Is that something that you're okay with dealing with? I'm talking exhaustion right now, Arvistan. Now, you're very intimately familiar with that.
Yes, I am.
Is it something that you are willing to have, or are you going to strip off? Not in any way that's going to compromise your armor class, but just in a way that's going to kind of expose a
Yeah.
little bit more.
I'll just take the cloak off.
All right. You'll take off the cloak, and your hood's going to come down. You're going to remove your cloak and stow it away. You'll see Arvistan's hastily shortcut hair. That's sort of been sheared off in the back when Jade cut his hair.
Yep.
You'll see his big flower eye and all the sort of roots and branches and twigs growing out from one side of his head.
I still have my mask on, right?
If
That
you
was
want,
not included on the hood. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll still have the
you can
mask
keep
on.
that on. I mean, your mouth wasn't anything
Yeah.
1,000% more atrocious to look at. Not that you're disgusting or anything, but you've got.
I mean,
eye patch.
You're
I don't
weird.
know. It's like maybe you think he's disgusting.
He's different. He doesn't look like people do. You do have something of a twin. There is another person in your group with an asymmetrical eye. Kriv, do you think that you are dressed appropriately for a humid jungle?
Maybe except the little leather thing. Well, what is this, like old cotton nonsense?
Cotton? He might be all right. Hajite, we know, is able to adjust her outfit to suit herself to whatever situation she needs to be in. So you've got more armor now than you used to have, but you are accustomed to desert attire. Slightly different, but it's definitely something that's made to beat the heat. So you don't have that much of a concern. Ravi is wearing heavy armor most of the time. You've attempted to remove some parts of it in order to help yourself with the heat. But I am going to say that heavy armor is going to impose a level of exhaustion on you if you want to continue to wear it.
That's fair, and I will continue to wear it.
All right.
Always exhausted, Robbie.
Always exhausted, always almost dead.
We'll have to cross over a bit of vine work. Now, Arvistan, you're the one that is accustomed to this sort of thing at this point, I believe.
Yep.
Difficult plant matter is not hard for you to traverse, even though you're a city boy.
And I'm a plant now. I'm part of nature.
I'd like some dexterity saving throws for everyone else. We just don't want to turn ankles or anything as we're walking around. So
Well,
let's see how those go.
Rolling for myself,
I'm
really.
safe from the dexterity, right?
You don't have to do that.
Okay.
He's backflipping through the forest. Jungle, sorry.
He's like tiptoeing. He's hopping around on top of branches and stuff, swinging around like Tarzan.
You said dexterity?
Yeah,
10.
10.
7.
7.
Hi, yi, yi. God damn, guys!
How'd Kriv do? Better.
16.
16. Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. At least one.
Yeah.
I did badly, aren't Jason?
Kriv is a mountain native, so you're not unaccustomed to this sort of change in terrain. Walking around on different sort of levels of things so that you can adjust your feet and your foot placement accordingly. And you've traveled a great distance in many different places, so you're not having too much difficulty getting around. Hajite, you don't hurt yourself walking around, but you are going to trip up a little bit, and the pace that you're setting is just going to be too slow for Shell, who will get frustrated at how slowly you're moving and request that you hitch a ride.
Yes. Yes, immediately yes.
All right. So you'll be able to. She'll lower herself down just a little bit so that you're able to climb up onto her back. She's got a saddle all set up already for someone to ride on her back. And you get up there, and she starts to pick up the pace. She's going to zoom past Arvistan and go past Kriv and Ravi and head up to sort of walk abreast of Gideon in a somewhat competitive, this is my team and I'm in charge type movement.
That's fair. I'm going to just shrug at Gideon.
Ravi, you're going to turn your ankle.
Sounds about right.
Oh, too exhausted, city boy.
It's going to cut your speed in half, which is the same as having 2 levels of exhaustion, but we're not going to give you actually 2 levels of exhaustion.
Oh my god.
You're just not built for it. It's just a weird place to be. We just got to get through it, though.
Hear me muttering curses to myself as I'm whacking the ground with a mace.
Yeah. Not having a bladed weapon and trying to cut through the foliage is also causing you some problems. Because you could see, I think Hajite has a sword, right? Like a rapier? That doesn't really work either. That's not that useful.
Scythe, or not scythe, yeah.
A sickle. Sickle is almost perfect.
Yeah.
That's precisely what you want. It's a good thing you went up front next to Gideon. So I'll cut the way for everybody. Robbie's just miserable. If you turn around and look at him, he's getting all red in the face. You can see sweat dripping down. That sort of poor green dye job is leaking out of his hair. So he's got like drips of green coming down his forehead. All around, you can see on the back of his neck.
He uses his soul sword.
But everyone else seems to be having the time of their life. I mean, Kriv is doing really well. Arvistan's climbing around on things like he's in his element. Hajite is finally getting to ride on the shell's back. So I would venture to guess, Robbie, that you can't help but be happy for your companions as you are suffering.
I think I ascertained that I'm too busy looking at the ground, like trying to place my next step and like hobbling on my one bad leg after twisting my ankle, like hopping forward, putting my hand on a tree and like every step I take is just a loud thud.
These people are not helping you either.
Do you want help?
Yeah. And I don't think there's much you could do, I'm afraid. I mean, I appreciate you cutting the vines and stuff, though. Keep doing that. I'll make it. This is so good.
Luna will walk alongside you, Ravi, as sort of a just-in-case measure. Like if you fall over, you can catch her instead of totally plummeting to the floor.
Yeah.
Because Arpstan's too busy playing around. He's having a good time.
Yeah, I could
I'm
also
one with
do a big bird mouth.
nature.
I feel like that would cause more trouble than help.
You know, did you like train to be a ranger underwater? Like, is this a thing you've not quite prepared for, or did you just like same thing?
It's same thing. Coral reef, trees, you know.
Same thing. Gravity.
Okay. It'll take you most of the day to cut through this jungle. You'll be coming in at like mid to late afternoon before you see light ahead of you, sort of breaking through the tree cover as you're cutting through it. Not that it's been super dark, but just, a lot brighter on that side. And then Gideon will finally do one last major slash with his greatsword and cut open this huge swath, and you'll see this pour in of sunlight as you've reached this kind of clearing area. And as you step out into it, standing in front of you, it looks less like a city or like a village and more like a fortress. It stands up with huge stone walls, and the stone walls kind of taper into several levels. You can see it's probably at least 6 levels high of these different stepped big stone areas. And they've got turrets up on the corners of each part, a heavily manned gate up front. You can see that there are arrow slits and small windows placed in hundreds of different places along the walls, all the way up and down. Definitely built for extreme defense. And Gideon will turn around and look at the rest of you, and he'll say, "We've made it. Welcome to Tempe."
Woo!
Whoa.
Oh, Freyr be praised. Oh, God.
Are you okay, Robbie?
I'm doing much better now that I see this. It's quite impressive, actually.
It stood here for, well, I don't really know how long. Longer than I have, longer than anyone in living memory.
Huh. That's interesting. That looks pretty nice.
We'll have to approach the front gate. Do you have a sort of letter of introduction? Any means to identify yourselves?
Ajouté does.
Yeah, I've got a letter.
Might I carry it for you? Sort of act as your envoy?
Sure.
He'll take it. And sort of, he kind of adopts a different walk than you've seen him doing as you're going through the jungle, or different than he was when you were in the hideout of the Sunken Fangs. He stands up a little more straight. He lifts his head up higher than he was doing before. He's not trying to track or find his way around anymore. He puts his nose up in the air. And he lets the wind catch his mane a little bit, so it kind of floofs out a little bit more. And he takes a measured step. It's almost like a military precision as he's walking forward. So there's kind of a rhythm, almost musical, to the rate at which he's walking forward. And he kind of strides towards this front gate. He doesn't give you any instruction, but what do you want to do as he's walking in that direction?
I want to mimic
guess.
him.
Mimic him? Give us a performance check.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just follow.
He's got 4 legs, so your 2 legs are going to have to do a little improvising.
I'm just following them, but not mimicking him.
Arvstan, are you going to keep your cloak off?
No, I'll put it back on.
Okay.
24.
Wow, that's really good. Yeah. As much as your 2-legged snake self can mimic his sort of 4-legged lion wolf walk, you are able to accomplish it. You seem to have some of the pageantry down as you're walking forward, which is befitting the leader of a diplomatic mission to a foreign nation. So you'll walk off. Arvstan is following behind you, just kind of walking the way he normally does, and covering himself up. He does not look like a person that you should be introducing to royalty at this point. And speaking of, Ravi, you would be limping along behind them, I'm assuming.
I would fall to the back. Like, the backest back I can fall to.
I'll go to the back and grab Robbie by the arm and just like kind of like let him lean on me. Just going.
Just kind of support him?
Yeah.
As you're walking forward? Okay. Are you making it, like, are you hamming it up like he's, a soccer player that got injured on the field and like he's trying to call a foul, or are you?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Really?
You know
Okay.
it very damn well.
I understand.
Did they fake their hurt?
I'm gonna need a performance check from you then.
Okay. Oh, performance. Oh boy.
So, quick side question: if I put that pretty makeup on him,
Ooh, natural
will
18.
be okay with that face?
On Arvstan?
Yeah.
He'll do better on everything to do with talking to people. Yeah.
What was it? Performance?
Nobody's really been super disappointed in him. He's kind of, that's all internal.
So it was a natural 18, and it'll go to 16.
16.
Because I got a -2.
You're really hamming it up. This is not something that you discussed with Ravi beforehand. Ravi, Arvstan's support is helping you walk. It's taking some of the pain and pressure off of your twisted ankle. So you can accept that if you wish.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if it makes it hurt less, I'll do it. Even if he looks goofy as shit, like, I'm gonna do it.
He's also got sweat pouring down. Robbie's hair is all matted. He looks rough. He's got
look at this.
Stuck to all that, like, sticky salve that's meant to repel the insects has been attracting like dirt and dust and leaves. Like little twigs and stuff all stuck all over on his face and on his arms.
Oh, look at that, Robbie. You got a twig over here in your hair. Take it off.
Yeah,
I think I have a lot of twigs in my hair.
One of maybe 100 that you've just removed from.
100.
they match then.
He's a porcupine.
Kriv, what's your approach strategy? Do you do anything special, or are you just gonna kind of?
Well, probably just gonna turn around to go help Robbie and then see them going, and then just like, I guess turn back around, try to like, try to dust it off, and then try to straighten up like when I see Gideon do it, but probably like fairly obviously like gawping, like looking around at everything still.
Do you stand up as straight as you can?
Yep.
That's probably straighter than you've ever stood
Yeah.
with these people.
I feel like I did it once to try to look intimidating behind someone once, but I don't remember. That was probably like a year ago.
Kriv's gonna stand up. Kriv is like, I think you said Kriv is like nearly 7 feet tall.
Probably something like that. 6.5 at least.
Yeah, pretty big. Taller than Gideon, for sure. Not quite as tall as Shell, but pretty close. Like if you're standing straight up and Shell just kind of standing in a relaxed stance, you're eye to eye with the big bird. And you can see on those guards' faces that they sort of get closer to attention. They stand up a little bit straighter and they grip their weapons a little bit tighter, seeing you approach, Kriv. So that taller stance, the combination of a dragonborn in Mochipa being not essentially super common, especially not here at the fortress, and just kind of the size and intimidating stature. I mean, you've got like a dead eye with scars all on the side of your face. You've got a huge staff. You've got big teeth and a big feathery tail. You've got this like weird skulking little man that's carrying a kind of wild, heavily armored freak all the way through.
Freak.
You've got the beautiful snake woman walking in front of you. There's an axe beak. That's not anything super uncommon to them, although the coloring is different than they would be accustomed to. And then here's what most of you assume to be a popular Mochipan hero, Gideon Lagoon, leading the group. He'll step forward in front of you. He'll go. There's got probably a ceremonial amount of guards, but there'd be like 20 of them. They're not in like heavy armor. They're not built for war right now. They've got garb that makes them look like they're guarding royalty. They're meant there to look pretty and look nice, but they do have weapons, and the weapons are real. And if problems happen, they're willing to do something about it. Gideon steps forward. He does not make eye contact with any of the people guarding the fortress, and then he presents the letter, and he says, "The Karenian Diplomatic Company of Hajite Zulshu et al. Here to see the Empress Pardid of Mochipa." And you'll see one of the guards will take the letter and he'll sort of open it up on the ground in front of him and look it over real quick. And he'll say, "Gideon Lagoon didn't expect to see you back here." He'll say, "I did not expect to return. You know you're not allowed into the fortress, right?" He says, "I'm aware. I've done what I can to get this group here, and I will graciously step aside." And then Gideon will walk away.
I'll stop getting like, wait a minute. Can I ask why he may not enter this place?
Gideon's been exiled from the fortress.
And again, may I ask why? That's not much an inconvenience.
I'm afraid it's on a need-to-know basis.
I mean, he led us all the way over here. I think uh as diplomats, I think we owe it to him for getting over here, and he should come in with us.
If you really want to know why he was kicked out, it's probably a question best saved for the Empress.
Okay.
Hmm.
She's
One
been
second.
expecting you. Your audience is granted.
Awesome. One second, and I turn around and like, guys, do you guys want to just leave Gideon out here, or should we just tell them that we won't go in unless Gideon is going in with us?
I think we go in first, talk with the Empress, see what's up, and kind of play it by ear from there. Uh, Gideon's been nothing but kind to us, but we don't know the reason why he was exiled. They might have a legitimate reason, and to staunchly defend bringing him in when we don't know the reason seems foolhardy.
No, okay, alrighty. I mean, you kind of sucks to just let him out here while we're in there. After all he did for us to lead us over here, that's why I asked.
I don't disagree with you, Iristan, but I think we can do more good from inside the walls than outside of them.
Alrighty.
I'm going to call a man at arms to escort you. The Empress won't see you today, but we'll find accommodation for you and prepare you for a meeting with her tomorrow. He'll mumble at another guard and he'll say, go find Captain Tank. Bring him here. And try to go fast. You see this sort of younger Omni guy will turn off and he'll kind of sprint into the fortress. And it'll be a few moments before he returns. You have any questions you want to ask the guards or anything you want to do with them? Or do you want to wait patiently?
I would like to save, like, do you guys have any food or water that you can provide us while we wait over here, please?
We'll have some inside. It should be just a moment.
Yeah, but
The men at
my
arms
friend,
will take care of all of your needs.
yeah, but my friend Gideon is not gonna be able to go inside, so I mean, he needs some as well, you know.
He knows his way around the area.
Yikes! You guys don't like him, don't you?
On the contrary, I think he's a hero.
And this is the way you guys treat him. This is so weird. In my country, heroes are treated with joyfulness, and we greet them everywhere and be thankful for them, but not just treat them like an outsider like that.
I really can't speak to it further.
Hmm. Okay. Anybody else? Any questions?
After a minute or so, the guard that ran off into the fortress will come slowly walking back. And in the relative darkness of the inside, contrasting with the bright outside, you can sort of see them coming in out of shadow. This guard is kind of slowly walking. He keeps turning his head around to look back behind him, and slowly approaching at his side and coming towards the entryway is just the oldest, most ancient looking turtle person that you could possibly imagine. He's got his own ceremonial garb that sort of matches with the rest of the people at the gate to identify him as a member of the palace guard. And he's got a big spear that he's holding and he's clutching in his hand. He just kind of slowly using it to help him march himself forward. And his whole body's kind of like got this kind of uneasy, elderly shake to it as he's coming towards you. And eventually, when he gets within view, he'll say, "I'll be right there."
Don't worry, we're not going anywhere.
So he takes one step at a time, and he kind of matches that step with the next one, and then he places that spear forward and takes another couple of steps to catch up to it. And it takes him a while to get to you. And the rest of the guards part way. They kind of make an entry for the rest of you to get into the fortress, and he's sort of standing there in the middle of it. He'll say, "I'll be your escort through Tempe Fortress. Follow me, please." He just kind of pivots in his spot to turn himself around.
I'll just kind of look around and then follow suit. Walk behind him and walk as slow as possible, which probably feels great to me, but
You'll have to just stop and wait sometimes. Just at the sort of rate that he's moving there's no way to walk as slow as him. We haven't had any diplomats from Corenia in some time. How are things across the water?
I will first look at Hazute as she is the leader. If she does not respond, then I will. They are in a bit of disarray at the moment.
Well, that is unfortunate, but not unexpected.
Why do you say that?
Oh, every time you think the trouble's over, it's just getting ready to start again.
Are you referencing something specific or something just more general?
Not a general, I'm a captain. My name's Tank.
It's an honor to meet you, Tank.
Yes, you also. Speaking to the Empress is quite an honor. I haven't spoken to Her Majesty in a long time. Well, I suppose now is a good time for a tour, yes?
Yes.
Sure.
Tempe Fortress is 6 levels of pure battlement, built to defend this place from any invading army, whether they be from the surrounding jungle or the other side of the mountains or down the river or across the ocean or anywhere else they might come from.
The sky? To the roof?
Maybe not the sky. No one's ever asked about that before. Tell me, young one, is there a nation in the sky with a notion for war?
Not, not that I know of yet.
Is
There's
that where you come from?
no. I just know there's some mean stuff in the sky sometimes.
Uh, I did once get pooped on by a bird. It was just there on my shell. If you look, it's still there. Let me show you our entry hall. Just this way. Don't dawdle.
I slightly whisper to Robbie, "Is there any way that we can like pick him up and move faster?"
I will whisper back to him. I don't know much about his species, but I assume they would take great offense to being hoisted.
Because this is taking forever. I'm falling asleep over here.
All right. Take about 6 minutes to travel forward. He takes you through one small room and two what he refers to as the entry hall. This area is sort of like an internal courtyard that spans several floors of the fortress. So it stands up probably like 100 feet high, and there are 5 massive trees growing in the center of the fortress itself. You can see that there are holes in the side of the fortress, sort of entries at different layers higher up, where these big branches are reaching out and across and outside of the fortress. The trees are bigger than anything else that you've seen in the jungle so far. You think kind of like redwoods, but if they had other redwoods growing out of the sides of the. You can see higher up that some parts of the fortress, some of those layers, those upper floors, actually use the trees as kind of a walkway. There's like little passages in between them. Some of the branches are built upon to sort of fill out that area. He'll say, tank, he will say, the fortress at Tempe is older than I am. That was a pause for laughter.
How long have you been here?
Oh God!
Here in the fortress,
Yeah.
I've served the Empire for well over 100 years now.
Wow.
Never seen battle, but I have trained extensively with the spear. He'll take his spear, sort of point it, and just kind of like gesture his arms forward. That's just for starters.
Do you have training to keep up your skills? I'm sure you do.
I have a regimen. Every morning before dawn. It takes dedication to serve as long as I have. But this isn't about me. Take note of the trees here in the internal courtyard. They've stood longer than the fortress.
Is there a significance to the trees being here then?
Trees stood tall enough with a large enough canopy amongst themselves to prevent undergrowth. This made this spot one of the few places in the jungle capable of supporting a construction project as massive and ambitious as this fortress.
Are you meaning that this entire thing, all 6 stories, was built all at once and not like one layer then two, a century later kind of a thing?
Just this first level is a massive undertaking in itself. I've never been to Cafeteria, but I doubt there's a structure as impressive as this.
Would I feel that that's probably the truth, looking at this thing?
It's definitely bigger than anything in Cafeteria.
As a native of Cornea, I actually agree with you. This is most impressive.
Well, then come along, slowpokes. I've got much more to show you.
So,
Are there other people walking around?
There are. Most of them are trying not to engage with Tank. They are very familiar with him and his speed. So you see most other people walking around are not moving as slowly as him. You might even see another turtle person or two that just doesn't, they're not as slow as this guy.
Is it like a mix then of like other guards and like citizens, or is it just like guards?
People live in here.
Yeah.
So some of the people aren't soldiers. They're not, dressed in like soldier garb. But people that live in the capital have their own certain air about them. So the clothes are a little bit different than like on the coastal cities in the Zoot or in the villages that you'd see outside. They're dressed up. I wouldn't say nicer, but definitely like they don't run into the elements as much as everybody else does. So their clothes aren't as worn as everybody else's is. They are not as strenuous or stressed as other people who have to survive in the jungle. So they're kind of more leisurely. They stand up a little bit straighter. They're not browbeaten by work as much as anyone else. But you see the same kind of general mix. There's definitely more Omni than folk, than like people like everybody else. But there are some, like humans and elves and dwarves and those sorts of things also milling about. It's just a lot more four-legged folks. Hurry up now. Lots to see.
how much time has passed ever since?
Maybe like a half an hour for him to get you kind of into like the first main room. Tell you a little bit about it.
All right.
There's a staircase in the corner. So let's move quickly. Get ourselves up to the second floor.
Would you like any assistance getting upstairs?
I was about to ask you the same thing. I know you're probably weary from all of your travels. I am well rested, bursting with energy. I could go up and down these steps all day.
I trust you can. I can see that.
Now, you need me to carry something for you?
No, I'm good, thank you. I don't know if the ladies or the gentlemen or they need any help.
I am okay. Thank you for your kind offer, though.
I don't need help.
Don't mention it. It's all part of a day's work. It'll take you a little while to get to the stairs. And then as Tank starts to climb them, he has to do one step at a time. So he'll take his spear, pick it up, and get it on to that first step. And he's kind of got to use that as leverage to get a foot up. And then he'll put a hand down on his knee and use the spear to get that other foot up. And that's about the rate that it takes him to do one step. It's going to be like 30 to get to the second floor. It'll take him a long time. Anything you guys need to take care of while you're climbing the stairs?
I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on now.
No, I'm saying it's just gonna take forever for him to answer, that's all.
Captain, do you know if any information was sent ahead of us other than to expect our arrival?
No, I'm not sure. I'm just a man at arms, really. Here in the fortress, I don't read messages for the Empress. I walk the halls and keep everything in order. Most of the time I don't have my spear. They have me carrying a broom. It's made out of an old spear, though, so I can still train with it.
Aside from training, has there been a lot of action around here? Has it been fairly peaceful?
Outside of the fortress, I don't know. I don't venture out too often. In here, no one talks to me anymore. I'm not sure what has been going on with everyone else. In fact, it's got my throat a bit raspy. It's more than I've spoken in a long time.
Do you have a canteen?
Oh, there's an idea. It's just here on my hip. I've got to reach for it.
Do you need help with that?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
Now just lift it. Excuse me, could you hold my spear for a moment?
Yes, for sure.
Take two hands, a lot of water in the canteen.
my god!
Thirsty?
I'm okay. Are you okay with that sip? You need another one?
I might as well. You mention it.
Alrighty, go for it.
It's just,
Take your time.
I know we're in a rush. I've got to go quickly. You're sure you don't want any?
Yep, I'm sure. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Well, now we can continue up the stairs. Might I have my spear back?
Yes, sir. Here you go.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
All right. No more slacking off. Come on. I get the rest of the way up the stairs. Probably been on the tour for a full hour now. Starting to get a little dark outside. We're getting into like twilight time. See, the next stop is the cafeteria. I know how hungry a diplomat can be. Probably don't eat much over in Karenia. How thin you all are. Let's head this way and see if we can't get you something to stop you from starving. He'll head over. The cafeteria is actually rather large. Long wooden tables, and they've got dozens of stools on either side. And there are a large number of them, and they've got some round tables and some rectangular ones. Lots of spaces to eat, and there are a lot of people sitting there eating already, but it's not full up. People just come and go as they please, and there's kind of just a running chef taking care, preparing food at all times, at all hours of the day, just to serve whatever people have a feeling or hankering for. It's going to be mostly vegetable and fruit. It'll take a long time to get over there. It's very clear where you're going. I'll leave it up to you if you want to wait for Tank to actually lead you to place an order, or if you just want to go ahead of him and do it.
I will be polite and wait for him.
Yeah, I mean, like he's been. Yeah. I'll just wait as well. He's been pretty adamant and excited giving us the tour.
All right. It takes him a full 15 minutes to cross the span of the cafeteria. Yeah, he gets over there, and he starts to place his order, and they give him his food before he even says anything. They know exactly what he's going to order. He gets like a big tossed salad. It's got like chopped up pieces of fruit. You don't know exactly what he's got in there, but it's like red and orange and purple fruits all mixed on the inside, and then just like a big heaping bowl of greens. And he'll turn around to the rest of you, and he'll kind of wink, very slow, long one. He'll say, "My favorite." And he's going to take his bowl and go sit down.
I guess I'll have the same thing as he's having.
Well, just a big old salad.
I mean, do you have any type of meats besides fruits and vegetables?
We've got some. Is there anything in particular?
What type of meat do you have?
We've got some river fish. We've got a couple things that we pull out of the jungle. A lot of snake meat.
I'll take the river fish.
Sure. Do you want to prepare it in any special way? Is there like a weird Coredian thing that I should know about?
No. I just wanna try and see how you guys do it here.
Okay. They'll put that together for you, Arvstan. Obviously, going to take a minute. Anybody else have an order that they want to put in?
I'll take, I don't know, whatever's popular.
Okay. Ravi, you're going to get a kind of like fried donut type dish.
Excellent.
I'll do river fish too, but can you make it spicy?
Corenian spicy or Machipan spicy?
Tarsarian.
I remember I still have some of that red powder spiciness
Oh, they'll
from the
have
last
that
time.
too.
Oh, cheapen.
Okay. And he'll turn around and sort of give a nod to the chef in the back. And the chef in the back, he'll raise his eyebrows and do that. Like, okay. That's what you want. Crib, what do you want? Anything?
I have a smaller bowl of the salad thing.
They can get you a smaller bowl. Do you want it exactly like Tanks, or do you want? Because we load his up with like nutrients and like supplements and stuff.
Maybe not that.
We could just take that out and just kind of do a more standard. Like, I know it looked like it was a lot of fruit in there, but some of that's like pills and like vitamins and things.
Do you have anything sweet other than fruit?
Almost everything. Well, other than fruit,
Yes.
sweet, not fruit.
Or I'll just take sweet fruit.
I don't know exactly what that means.
Okay.
They'll get you a fruit salad, which has a lot less greens than Tank's salad, and a lot of different kinds of fruit. You'll see they'll crack open one of those spider fruits and get parts of that in there.
I want the spiders. Can I order?
You can all get your food and get to a seat before Tank reaches it. And then he'll get there about the time he does, and you'll all be able to sit down there. Oh, joining me for dinner, eh?
You don't mind.
Were you expecting us somewhere else?
Yeah, you're welcome. It's a free fortress. He's just kind of slowly like eating little bits of his salad.
Got the little crunch noise. The little.
We've seen turtles eat. Scout and I know. They like open their mouth and they stick their tongue out like a little bit, like they're all excited about it, and then just kind of like strike like a viper, and slowly crunch on it. So, I haven't seen you around here before.
We're new to the city.
Oh, what brings you to Tempe?
We're diplomats.
Oh, that's exciting. I haven't had diplomats around here in a long time.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's been,
no.
I'm sure it's been a little bit.
I could give you a tour if you'd like.
No, that's okay. Thank you though. You
Certainly.
actually showed us around a bit earlier. Uh,
Are you sure?
I believe so. You'll have to excuse my ignorance. I'm again new in town.
Shit, did I forget?
Ah!
It seems like you did.
He gets upset, like visibly. I'm sorry. I've been trying to get better at my memory. It's just,
Don't worry, you're okay. You're good.
it's embarrassing.
You've been a very good guide for what it's worth.
Have we seen the first floor?
Yep.
Mhm.
Did we see this floor yet?
Yeah. We took a quick walk around before we came to eat.
All right. Well, you can finish your food, and we'll go up to the third floor. Is anyone thirsty?
I can actually get us drinks. What would you like?
Oh, I've got my drink right here.
Good.
You just grab that from my hip.
That's a good point. Use my water as well.
And
So-
I'm just going to bring it up to my mouth. And we'll take a drink.
Oh my god.
How's your take? Make a Constitution saving throw. Mo cheap and spicy is spicy.
It sure is. Noon. 15.
Okay.
Oh,
You're going to need some of that water, or maybe something a little more basic to help neutralize that a little bit. But you keep your cool at the very least. You can keep eating. You take one bite, and you feel like you can eat another bite, and probably finish the meal. But it is exceptionally spicy. You get about as red-faced as Ravi is already.
Are you okay, Hashite?
I'm fine.
Is
It's
it spicy?
delicious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of blushing. Did you see somebody you like or something? You're right in the face.
Young man,
Yeah. Yes.
that's not appropriate talk for a lady.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
This is,
harvesting.
this is a diplomat.
You are
Oh.
right.
Okay. My bad.
This man's been rude our entire journey.
I'm sorry to hear that.
She made me like this.
Is there something I can do to help your situation, ma'am? Just give me a signal.
That's okay. I like to think of myself as tough enough to handle it.
I'll bet. So it'll take a minute for you all to eat your food. Arvistan's river fish is also spicy. They tried to make it mild, but I mean, they season things in a different way. They have to put a little bit. It's not as bad as Hajate's.
Okay.
Um, it's not even like it's probably at a level that's like maybe even just a little bit below what you would expect a spicy dish to be, but it's definitely there. You can definitely taste it as you're going through.
Arvistan, would you like to try mine?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Are you sure it's not as spicy as whatever you made?
No, no, I'm okay.
Ravi, you've got it's kind of like churros.
Excellent.
It's a weird meal, but it doesn't seem like it bothers anyone here to eat that as a meal. So everyone gets everything also like on a bed of leaves. So you like get your plate and it has leaves uh, all across the top of it, and then whatever food you're having on top of that. Except crib, of course, you have a bowl with a salad in it, a sort of fruit salad. Very interesting flavors. They coincide and coalesce together in unexpected ways. There's definitely sweetness is like the predominant thing, but you also get like little notes where it kind of hits you bitter or sour in a couple places, almost like Sour Patch Kids or something like that.
Ooh.
Sour Patch Kids.
Just kind of different. Um, you're all able to finish before Tank finishes his salad. And they come and take his salad away from him. Kind of almost looks like while he's in the middle of eating it. And he'll say, all done. Well, he puts his hands on the table and he kind of pushes himself back on his stool. You can hear it kind of creak across the floor. Just wooden stool just kind of creaking on this stone floor slowly as he pushes back across it. All the conversation in the cafeteria stops as he's just kind of slowly pushing himself back. Some people look, but most people just kind of exasperatingly wait as he removes himself. And he'll say, all right, third floor. Get the lead out. It's time to get moving.
Yeah, Arvistan. Speed it up. You've been slowing us down the whole time.
Oh, oh, my bad.
Arvistan, is it?
Yes, sir.
I can lessen the pace if you're having trouble keeping up.
No, no. I took a good rest while we were eating. You can go as fast as you can.
Fast as I can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's a very competitive young man.
I am.
Well, I hope you're not too intimidated by this.
Oh my. Okay. Calm down. Calm down. You just intimidated me a little bit. Okay. Like you gotta slow it down there. Okay.
Try and keep up.
Oh, woo! That's too fast. I'll try. I'll try.
All right. I'm getting lightheaded.
Oh, Robbie had to pick me up already.
Don't push yourself
Ooh.
too hard. You know what they say.
What they say?
If you go really fast at the start, you win the race.
Oh,
Oh,
I went too fast, but
Old
I don't
adage.
think I'm winning. I don't think I'm winning.
When the elf tried to race the tortoise, and he wasn't as fast as the tortoise ran so quickly that he left the elf choking on dust.
Ooh. Wow.
See there?
Yeah, I was something that was hard to keep up with.
They've made it about 10 feet. Tank is very tired. You can see on the second floor that those trees are coming up. There's kind of an opening area in the center of the second level where the trees just kind of grow up and through. And one of the branches comes out on this level, and it's used as the next stairway, kind of like a ramp to go up to the third level. It's on the other side of that opening, so Tank's got to take you around the courtyard to get over to the branch and then get you up to the third level. It takes a long time doing so, as you can expect. It's full dark by the time you get over there. He'll say, the interior of the third level of the fortress is almost entirely branches from the trees in the center. Now, some walkways have been built in to help improve mobility, but it is the way of Tempean Mosquitoes to blend architecture and nature together. Watch your step. It takes an exceptionally agile and nimble person to maneuver the third floor.
Well, I definitely have to.
Watch my feet so you don't misstep.
Well, I'll definitely have to be careful because I'm very clumsy.
Before Tank takes his first step onto one of the branches up on the third floor, a couple other Omni people come and stop him from doing that. I said, Tank, you know you're not supposed to go up on the third floor. I've been running around these branches since before your grandfather was born. There are branches here that I saw grow from twigs. I said, well, it's been a long time since then, Tank. You can't walk around on the branches up there anymore. I think this ends our tour. To access the upper floors of the fortress, you need to once again descend to the ground level and take a staircase outside.
Thank you very much.
You were very kind, Tank. Thank you for your time.
Don't mention it.
I'll hope you give me a rematch next time we see each other.
You're worried I'll kick your sorry butt.
Ha! I'll try really hard this time. Really, really hard.
Let me know if you want to spar also. I'm a capable spearsman.
Oh, okay.
I'll go easy on you.
Oh, I bet you will.
I'd have to. I don't want to injure a diplomat. My room's on the ground floor. I'm going to retire. Do you know your way back down?
Yeah, I think we're good. Thank you.
Your
Yep.
accommodations should be higher up. Let me know if you need anything. My name's on my door.
Oh, thank you.
Now's the awkward moment where to go more quickly you have to walk past him. Because you're both heading in the same direction. Yeah, all of you are going down.
Yep.
I would probably walk past him at this point.
Yeah,
Considering
definitely.
it is already dark and I need to sleep. My ankle is killing me.
Taking a lot of stairs already that have not been kind to that ankle.
Definitely pass him.
Okay. So you'll have to go all the way back down to the ground floor and leave the fortress to take an outer staircase to get up to one of the upper levels. The whole thing is kind of split into two sections. So there's not any ideal way to reach the upper levels from the lower ones. You've got to go in and get in above where those trees are. There's a long staircase. It kind of goes on two sides of the entrance up the fortress, and then it coincides together and then makes one larger staircase that goes up to an entryway up on the fourth level. When you get there, there are handmaidens awaiting you. I'm going to say about 15 of them. And they're going to take one look at the group of you, and one of the older ones is going to say, "This is unacceptable. We can't have you talking to the Empress looking like this." She's going to point at some of the handmaidens with her. She said, "You would take him and get him cleaned up. I'm going to send 5 of you. We've got to take that one. He's not looking good at all."
Who is that one?
Ravi.
I just look down at myself and nod. Yep, that looks about right.
You get another makeover.
The wild man of the jungle.
Oh boy.
So 3 handmaidens go with Hajite. 4 each go with Kriv and with Arvistan. And then a full 5 are going to go with Ravi, including the oldest one, who seems to be in charge of the group. And they're going to take you all into separate bedchambers. You're in a bit more of a palatial setting up in these upper floors. So it seems more private. The rest of the place seems kind of like community living quarters, like a big cafeteria where everyone eats. And all of the rooms down there probably just have like a single bed. And maybe just like a little place to store personal belongings. But everyone there just kind of lives together throughout most of the day. Up here on the upper levels are sort of private living chambers. And they're taking you to specific places meant for guests of the Empress. Let's start with, I'm going to roll a die and let's see who we go. We're going to start with Ravi.
Best adventure.
Ravi, when they take you to your chamber, it's even more humid inside the door. As soon as the door opens, it's like steam almost that hits you right away. And the older handmaiden woman will say to you, "You can undress yourself or we can undress you. Which would you prefer?"
I will remove my own armor. Thank you.
Everything.
That's... Yep, okay.
So they don't move. Are you willing to just sort of strip in front of them, or are you going to ask for any sort of difference in their behavior?
I will look to see if there's like a bathroom or some like other spot around.
In the middle of the room that they brought you into, there is a massive steaming tub. It's full of hot water.
As they don't seem to be moving, I'll just go ahead and strip completely in front of them and say, you know what? Fuck it.
Getting freaky.
This day has
really
sucked already.
It's really not. It's you could make an insight check, Ravi, if you'd like.
If you'd like to know if they want to get freaky.
Basically, yes.
I am probably too tired to care. I have been carrying exhaustion all day.
Okay, then you're not sure. You're not certain exactly what their intention is. As soon as you strip, the woman will motion. She'll say, "Get in the tub."
Okay.
This is obvious, right?
Yep.
You'll get in there. It's a little bit warmer than you might like, but it's cooling quickly. There's not anything that's keeping it warm as you get in there, and they dump in buckets full of like flowers, like lilacs and roses and sorts of things like that. She says it's to help improve the smell.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And then they grab very coarse, bristly brushes. And at least one of these handmaidens grabs just sort of a porous stone, like an igneous rock. And they just go to town scrubbing at you.
I will probably recoil at first bit as some weird ass brush touches my skin, and I'm afraid I'm gonna get like murdered by stones.
Okay. Is this we going to do this the easy way or the hard way?
Miss, you're trying to hit me with stones.
We're not trying to hit you. We're trying to fix you.
You're broken.
I will like lift my injured leg up. Do you have something for like a sprained ankle?
You're going to need rest. We can set it after you're cleaned up.
Can I just have soap?
There's soap in the water. Just let us do our jobs.
I'm gonna let you know. I think what you are using is meant for non-folk, and I think you're gonna scratch the shit out of me.
What we are using is meant for cleaning off carts and vehicles. If we had something more heavy duty, we would be using it right now.
I am not a vehicle.
No, you're worse. I don't know if you've seen yourself lately.
It's been a hot minute, but
Can't let the Empress see this.
I mean, last time I did this, they just used a brush, like a normal person brush, and it was fine.
Somewhere underneath there is an actual diplomat that can be presented to a head of state of a foreign nation. We have to find that person.
I promise it's not the fleshy bits under my skin. But I tell you what, if you're certain this will work, go for it. But I'm telling you, if I start bleeding in front of the Empress, I'm blaming you.
We'll take that chance. They are not gentle. They pull at you, and most of these women are omni. There's like maybe one person with like hands among them that can actually like maybe do something that's not biting you. They sort of pull your arms out. They stretch you out as far as they can. They scrub all along your arms, lift your arms up and get underneath into the armpits and everything. And they just go crazy cleaning you. You could feel they don't break your skin. You don't start bleeding everywhere, but your skin does get like raw. It feels like almost like a big nerve and it gets all red as they're scrubbing off like every possible layer of dead skin. It's the most anyone's ever been. It's like Gattaca. They're just going. They don't want anyone to see traces of your DNA when you go to work tomorrow. They wash all of the dye out of your hair. So you don't have that green hair anymore. They're not willing to let you have that. And they trim your hair. I think you said you had a beard at this point.
Probably, yeah.
They're going to shave that off. You're going to be clean shaven when you see the Empress. They pluck out nose hairs. They take care of any unsightly weird blemishes on your skin get kind of covered up with like a little foundation and just a little bit of concealer to make you a little more uniform. They put in a lot of effort. They do set your ankle just a little bit to help it stay in the correct position so that it can recover from the sprain a lot faster. And when you come out, they sit you in front of a mirror, and you look more like Travali than Ravi.
I will probably mutter, I look gross underneath my breath.
You look acceptable. This is the best that we could do. I think you're quite fetching for a human.
Thank you for your kindness.
It really is just that. You should sleep here. Don't ruin yourself. We've prepared you for a meeting with the Empress tomorrow. Please don't soil any of your clean clothing. Don't put dirt in places that you can conceal from any. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you did to put yourself in such a state. How quickly you were able to accomplish it. I just don't want you to do it again. We don't want to have to come back early tomorrow to do all of this over.
Barring a trip across the ocean and through a jungle, I don't think that's a problem.
All right. Let's go, ladies. And she'll gather up all the handmaidens, and they will leave you there. They gave you fresh clothes, like clothes, not priest's robes or a suit of armor. So there's like a new set of clothes. It's just kind of like a basic kind of like robe, toga type deal, meant to be kind of for the court. All right, let's see who's next. Arvistan.
Oh boy.
You've got 4 handmaidens. None of them are as pushy as the woman in charge. But they also want you to remove your clothes because you're a little dirty and messed up, and your clothes need washing.
Do I really need to do that?
If you want to talk to the Empress tomorrow.
Oh boy. All right, what's the worst thing you've seen in history of your life?
That I've actually seen, like in my life,
Yes.
like, fully witnessed.
Yes.
That's a loaded question. That's really difficult to answer. The worst thing? Can you be more specific?
Like atrocious that'll give you nightmares.
Nightmares. I did see my mother give birth to my sister.
Okay, if I take my clothes off, this is going to be worse.
Worse than that?
Yes.
Because I don't know that I'd necessarily say that that was a horrible thing, but by your description, I did have nightmares and still do about that event.
You'd rather change it with me undressing then and have a different nightmare?
I promise you I'm not interested in your undressing.
It's not because of me undressing. It's because of what you're gonna see after I undress. It's nothing normal.
Please don't
I'm not
try.
insinuating.
It really sounds like you are.
Nope, nope. It's not. It's not like that. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I can see where
You
you're
really
coming
don't
from.
need to
It's not.
say any more. I
Okay.
think you said quite enough. If you'd like, we could turn our backs as you undress. We've got a bathtub prepared. If you submerge yourself, then we should not be able to see uh, any of your nightmares, as you put it.
Yes, I would prefer that.
Very well. And they'll all turn around and give you a little bit. They don't leave the room, but they give you privacy. Uh,
I just take off my clothes, run towards the thing, and just jump.
you splash water all over the floor. Um,
Okay, I'm here.
they're a little annoyed at that because they're gonna have to clean that up. All right, we're going to clean you now.
Okay. Uh, careful with my. I know this is gonna sound weird, but careful with my branches.
Uh, as they approach, they do pause for a moment when they see you without your hood and your mask. Uh, Even if you're covering up most of your body, you're still keeping your head
Yeah,
up in
like
order to talk to them effectively. So they could see that big flower eye, and they could see all those branches growing over your head. Um, and they say, "Do you want us to remove that, or
no, no. Oh, please, oh God, Lord, please, no. This is actually part of me. This is if you try to remove or something, it's gonna hurt a lot.
all right? We are going to dress it up a bit, if that's all right.
With what?
Just get the dirt off. I
Okay,
see a
okay.
lot of crevices we might need to dig into a little bit.
Alrighty. Okay.
They are very careful with you, Arvistan. And they don't go below the surface of the water. They'll let you take care of that.
Okay.
They're working mostly on your head and on your face. And you can see the woman that's been speaking to you, very delicate about getting like in between the flower petals around your eye, just to get little pieces of like leaves and stuff out of there. She doesn't know exactly what it has nerves or feeling about it. She cleans it in between all the little roots and branches on the side of your head. They cut your hair more, not to make it super short, but to even it out. You kind of had it cut by like a blade, which didn't give you the best looking haircut.
Okay.
So
Fair,
they
fair,
kind
fair.
of trim it up and shape it a little bit better so it looks like a proper haircut.
Alright, that's fair.
She says, you have such an interesting face. Is there any reason you cover it up?
Yes, I just don't because of my own stupidity, I got like this, so I just feel a little bit ashamed of it.
It's very unique.
Yeah, exactly. That's why then I don't want to like people look at me really weird, so it's just really bothersome.
I think if um, I think if you weren't putting in so much effort, and pardon my saying so, to
No, go ahead. Don't worry.
maybe if you didn't put in so much effort to conceal it, it wouldn't draw as much attention.
Uh, maybe, but I think I think I'm good for now.
You're
Feeling
welcome to
good.
do as you wish. We will provide you with a mask and a hood if you so uh, desire. But I would encourage you to show the Empress your face as a show of respect.
I appreciate it. I will take that advice, and I would also take the mask and the hood. I'll just think about it till tomorrow, if that's okay with you.
I do consider it. I think that she would appreciate that you not hide yourself.
Okay, thank you, and I'll take that in consideration. I appreciate it.
Okay. Up next for the cleaning, Hajite. Uh, they're just having fun, Hajite, with you, because you already know how to take care of yourself and how to make yourself look clean and proper. They've provided the tools necessary for you to be able to do that sort of thing, and they are willing to give you the same treatment that they've given the boys. Um, but they just sort of offer it to you rather than kind of demanding it.
I think she would appreciate being pampered.
Okay, yeah. So they're gonna set it up. Just and they guide you into the bathtub. They comb your hair, and they give you shower you with compliments as they're combing out your hair. And you have such lovely eyes. We never see eyes like that around here. And they say, "What are you doing? How do you make that? You've got such a great tone on your scales, just in the temples of your head. How do you get that sheen to look that way?" Just kind of shower you with praise. And they get so like into pampering you and taking care of that they put a little bit. They do a little for themselves too. They start brushing their own hair, and they're just kind of like, and they're giggling with each other and laughing at stuff.
Slumber party.
Yeah, they're doing a little bit of that for you. What they would like to do that they don't that with Ravi they just give him whatever, and Arvistan he just gets like some robes and stuff. They're gonna give you like diplomat's clothes, something that you can wear to present yourself to the Empress. But you're the leader. You're the head diplomat. You're the leader of the group. You're the person in charge of this whole thing. So they want you to try on a few outfits, and maybe, just maybe, maybe show them off, like a little catwalk fashion show for them. Just the best way to be able to judge which is most effective is to get the 360 degrees view, and you've got 3 women here who are willing to give you their honest opinion.
Yes, absolutely. I think she would ham it up a lot and offer to have them dress up.
While she tries the first dress, I and do the catwalk. Go, girl! Get it!
Said, don't play that music on the stream. Come on, shut up. They're going to start you with a simple number, a little over-the-shoulder piece. I'd like you to make a performance check, just see how well you could show it off to the handmaidens.
23.
All right, it looks really good. They whoop a little bit. They whoop and holler because they're really liking it, and they can't believe it. You came in already a vision of loveliness in their eyes. They're sort of congratulating themselves, patting each other on the back for the kind of cleanup job that they did and the outfit that they picked for you. They think that this one is already a winner, but they don't want to stop right there.
Of course not.
One of the handmaidens is going to go behind the dressing curtain and put on an outfit herself. She's going to make a little performance check for you. She's kind of like a capybara type woman. So she's kind of just like a big, sort of like chunky, furry rodent lady. And she's going to put on something kind of floofy, almost like a prom dress looking type thing.
Oh yeah.
For a four-legged creature. And she's going to come out and strut. She rolled a 4. So, in all honesty, it looks really silly, and she's not moving in it well. She's not really showing it off really well. But she's like excited as she's doing it. She kind of does like a turn in front of everybody. The cloth comes up and kind of hits you in the face a little bit when she turns. And then she does, like a pose, like, let's get the feedback.
I will look to the other handmaidens for a sign of whether or not it's okay to be mean.
One of them will just kind of give you the look like, say something. And the other one will be like,
oh no, they all can't do it. I like it. I like the confidence. I like the pose at the end. I think that was my favorite. But mostly just the excitement of the experience.
She'll give you a big smile with two big buck teeth sticking out. And she'll keep her little like weird prom dress thing on and come sit next to you. They've got another outfit for you. This one's much more bombastic, flamboyant. It's got like a big frilly, like feathery, like collar that goes around the whole thing.
Let's go.
And like all silken sleeves that come down that are like transparent. You could see through the sleeve part, and it like there's a trail that runs behind it, kind of drags along the ground. I'd like another performance check to see how well you can show that one off.
19.
Okay. They love it. I mean, nobody can wear this. Like, they don't know anybody that could pull off that look. They're simple ladies, and nobody like this isn't a type of thing that you wear out. It's like a fashion show type deal. Like, anytime you see someone walk on a catwalk, you're like, nobody's ever actually going to wear that to somewhere. That would be insane for them to do that. But it's so exciting for them to be able to see that on someone and actually walking around and making it look good. They like the first one better. It's just simpler, and it makes you seem like more like a person than this one that like almost makes you seem just like a model. You seem more like you're the showpiece for the dress, almost.
What do you think? Should I wear this for the Empress?
I think she'd love it. I really do.
I know it's not appropriate. It's very exciting. You all haven't worn this one?
Never. No. With my figure, I don't think I could pull that off.
What? It doesn't really matter what your figure is. It's the confidence. You gotta have that.
No, well, no, it doesn't. No.
You guys don't do anything fun?
We're busy. There's a lot of work to do. We're sewing a lot, and we're in the back making things for other people to wear.
You don't make anything for yourselves?
I did make one thing, but I've never worn it. It's silly. It'd be ridiculous. I can't wear it to work. It would be like, it would look so stupid.
You could wear it now. What is it?
It's nothing. It's just, I don't know. It's really silly.
I like exciting. That sounds exciting.
I'd have to go get it. I mean, I didn't bring it with me.
I am dying to see it.
Just she'll look at her friends and I'll be like, do it. She's cool. She'll be like, all right, I'll be back in like 10 minutes. This is like a lizard folk woman that you're talking to. She says, I'll be back in like 10 minutes, okay?
Right.
And she'll just sort of quickly, like, looking like one of those lizards that runs on water. Just like, rush out of the room. And the last remaining woman, who is like, just like a human woman, will show off clothes that she brought, potentially for you to wear, but she's going to model them for everybody right now. She'll go behind the curtain and dress up. She'll come out and that's the wrong die. I was like, that's really low. Don't roll a D4 for your performance check. It's going to look bad. Okay, she's going to get a 13 on a performance. She comes out with, it's like racy almost. It's like there's a lot of midriff exposed. And there's like a skirt portion on the bottom that's pretty high. She doesn't fit in it perfectly. She's a little bit bigger than you, but she was able to like get it on and get it zipped up and everything. So it's kind of on there, and she does her best to try to show it off. Obviously, she doesn't do this very often. So it looks kind of weird as she poses for you, but I mean, she does effectively show off what kind of clothes that she's wearing, and the clothes look cool, and she looks fine. She looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, gotta show that off. That's a lot of skin, but I feel like that's normal. At least more normal here.
I feel really weird showing this much.
You don't wear this out? This isn't a normal ensemble?
I feel like so many people would be staring at me the whole time.
Oh, they would be.
Oh my God. She hides her own face in her hands. And her little capybara friend said, sit down, come on, keep it on.
See? Now we're all dolled up. We could go together.
The lizard woman will come back. She's got a bag with her outfit in it. And she says, okay, just don't judge too harsh, all right? It's kind of different. I was just trying some stuff out, and I don't know if it really works. Maybe I should just put it back.
Oh, maybe you should put it on.
I should take a big deep breath. Should go behind the curtain. You'll hear her open her bag. She's ruffling around with a bunch of. She seems like she's around a lot in there. She's ruffling around with like a bunch of crazy stuff. She finally steps out in armor. She's armored up head to toe, and she's kind of got like anime protagonist armor look. There's like a big shoulder pauldron. She's got a cool like fake wooden sword that's like strapped into her forearm. That's like really big and long and cool, and it like goes up over her hand and everything. Ridiculous boots, just like huge metal pieces all over, and she's gonna do a little performance in front of everybody. She gets a 16 on her performance check. Her poses, she's not trying to do sexy poses. She's trying to do like cool action poses. You could tell she's not a fighter. She doesn't know how to do any of this stuff practically. But she's just doing like weird, like her own. She's trying to visualize her own internal fight choreography. And she's like punching at the air and like swiping around with her big weird sword. She's got like a metal plate that goes down in front of her face.
Can't even see her face.
And then she turns and looks at the rest of you. The other girls don't know what to say.
I'm gonna cheer.
They're going to cheer with you.
Yeah.
They're clapping and screaming. They're so excited. Arvestan can hear the excitement in the other room from where he is. Just getting meticulously cleaned in the bathtub.
Oh yeah.
They're probably, if you have no qualms with it, they're probably going to stay in your room with you for the night before you go tomorrow.
That's great. It's been a long time since I've had any sort of time with normal people.
All right. Kriv is last. Kriv, you're kind of like a big, I don't know if I would call you gangly, but it doesn't feel wrong to say that. You just, most of the time when you're walking around and the way that you carry yourself almost feels like you're like not fit for your body in a weird way. You kind of hunch a lot of the time. You got your big heavy cloak on. You've been injured before. And you spend most of your time, especially lately, with people that don't really look like you. So you've got a little gang of handmaidens with you. They want to bathe and clean you like everyone else has had done with them. But they are intimidated, so they don't tell you that. You could see that the tub is in the room. It smells nice. They've kind of like scented the water. It's very warm. They've got towels and everything ready. It's kind of like a clear, this is bath time place.
Yeah.
But they don't know what to say to you.
You guys, I don't need help with anything. Can I just take a bath? That looks really nice right now.
We have to make sure it's adequate for the Empress. We'll get in trouble if you do it wrong.
Oh. Well, I know how to bathe. Can I take a bath first? And I don't really know what the other part of that means, but I just really want to take a bath.
We'll come check on you.
Okay.
How about 20 minutes?
All right.
They huddle very close together and they shuffle out. They try to like walk past you out the door. And they kind of leave you. Like you see the last one is holding a towel and just kind of like with her arms extended hands it to you and then kind of pulls back and they leave.
Thank you.
And you can bathe yourself. You know how to do it. You've done it before, probably.
I assume.
If it's not in your book,
You know.
you remember?
Been months.
Mountain stream bathing.
It's very different than that. I guess you would be accustomed to cleaning yourself in cold water. This is very warm. You lose some, you like shed a little bit. Kind of like shed and molt. So you kind of scrub to like, you've been doing it for a little while. It's kind of getting into winter. You're like changing a skin layer. But it's just been happening piece by piece. It's not just like one big like snake skin that comes off. Hajite is obviously much more meticulous about it. Every time there's like a little piece, she like takes care of that and makes sure it gets cleaned off and then treats the scales underneath. For you just kind of been like dry skin, like yeah, that's fine. You go to pick off the. Nope, that's not ready yet. So in here, you're losing a lot more. It's kind of floating on the surface of the water. And you're noticing how dirty you really were because, like, this water gets murky pretty quick.
Well, I did fall in mud a bunch. Does it make sense?
Crit, make a perception check.
Oh, okay. Perception? 24.
Okay, the water, it gets dirty right away. It's got some of that skin floating in it. And it gets, like, really gray. Like dirty gray water. And then it looks like it's, like, roiling or something. Like something's moving around inside of that water. And there's just, like, kind of like shapes moving, just like different shades of gray shifting around inside of the water. And you kind of, like, look a little bit closer, like, did they leave, like, fish or something? There's, like, some weird Mochipan thing going on in this water, like, for a bath that you don't know about. You kind of inspect it really close. You've been cleaning yourself for a little while. You haven't felt anything, like, swimming in there with you. And as you look at it a little bit closer, there's, like, sparks in the water, just like little bits, little jolts, like below the surface. Spurting, you kind of, like, get a little bit closer. You get your nose right up to the surface of the water, which I guess is like this far away from you.
Bent over.
You get really close to look up at the water. And as you get yourself really close, all the lights in the room go out for, like, a second. And the water flashes at you in this bright, sort of like purple-white light. And there's just a big eye in the water.
Oh, no.
And as soon as it shows up, it disappears. The water's just murky, dirty. The lights all are back on. It's like candlelight. Like,
I was gonna
the fire didn't go out or anything. It's all just still burning in there. And then there's a knock on the door. And they have, are you ready?
Let me just dry off really quick and get dressed.
Oh, we've got new clothes for you.
Okay, let me just dry off. I'm gonna try to, like, climb out, but, like, staring at the water the whole time.
It's nasty. Dude, there's, like, old feathers and stuff in there and, like, dead skin, murk and mud. You're much cleaner. Maybe not as clean as a team of handmaidens would have got you, but pretty clean.
Probably better that they weren't there, though. I don't have an answer. Okay, just gonna, like, dry off and stand there awkwardly.
Okay, do you, like, do the towel around the waist type
Yeah.
deal to, like...
For sure.
Just-
Not used to being around people other than these three in general, nonetheless, like, naked.
Yeah. I don't know where the towel goes on, like, a kind of, like, dinosaur, bird, dragon person.
Toga it.
You go around the waist because you're like, that's what people do. I don't know. I've seen it. They come in. They don't like have clothes fitted for you, but they do have, like, you're wearing basic robes, and they just kind of, like, get a long swath of cloth, and they kind of position it on you. They have to, like, cut it and tailor it in front of you right now. So, like, have you put your hands up. And it's not necessarily because you're a dragonborn, but you feel like that might be part of it. They're just, someone like you hasn't shown up in a while, and they're not used to making clothes in your size and shape. So they kind of, like, fit something together for you really quick out of kind of just a nice material, something like satin almost, and they kind of try to model it after the clothes that you were wearing when you came in the first place, while they get those all cleaned up. Is there anything else you need?
guess not do. Can I know where my friends are?
They're just in the other rooms across the hall.
Okay. Are there not many dragonborn around here?
It's not often. You're very welcome.
I feel it, and I thank you. Is there any way I can thank you? I haven't had an evening this luxurious, and
Just do well before the Empress tomorrow. As long as she is content with your appearance, we'll know we've done a good job.
do you have any advice you might give someone new to here? For me,
About
Empress?
speaking with the Empress,
Yes.
um, be polite, courteous. Remember that she is the leader of the entire Mochipan government and the entire Mochipan nation. Afford her the respect due a person of that rank and stature, and you should be all right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Let us know if you need anything.
I will. I will.
And they'll leave. And just kind of leave you in that room. So you could all rest for the night. Take a nice little breather. Hajite's probably not going to get a ton of rest because she's having fun too much. Ravi's going to be in pain a little bit. As you start to fall asleep, you kind of like your skin's a little stingy still, so touching the covers kind of aches just a mite bit. And you've got that ankle that's kind of bothering you, but all in all, I mean, it's still a comfortable bed, even better than the nice one that you all had at the inn in Mazout. These beds are reserved for very special guests of royalty. So they've got goose feathers all in there. Really big, much longer than any of what you would need. Maybe not long enough for Kriv, but what bed is? Very tall. It's wide enough so you just kind of turn diagonal.
Just curl up like a cat.
Yeah. Sleeping diagonally, I'll tell you from personal experience, you got to do it. That's how you're going to fit.
You don't let your feet hang off the bed?
You lose circulation and then they go numb. Don't do it, guys. If you can, get on there. And Armstead's going to sleep pretty well. He's got sitting on the table next to the bed that mask and hood that he has to contemplate in the morning. When morning comes, and they don't come and fetch you until sort of like mid-morning. So it's not like break of dawn, get up, let's go. They give you some time. There is room service if you want it, or you could take yourselves down to the cafeteria. Either way, there's food available. Hajite, I saw nodded for room. Do you want to order for you and the girls?
Yeah.
All right, what do you want to get? What sort of thing, maybe?
Continental.
Continental? All right. You get a sort of facsimile of waffles. Probably not actual waffles. They don't have the means to make that specifically. But they've ground up like, it's kind of like a peanut, like almond, kind of like paste that they use as the principal ingredient for their waffle batter. So it's like a protein waffle almost.
Nice.
They don't use a lot of meat around here, but they'll sprinkle in some like jerky bits. around on top of that. So it's kind of like more of a savory breakfast experience.
Oh yeah.
And it goes, all right, and they bring a block of wood for your capybara friend because she's got to keep them teeth. You got to keep them teeth in good shape. So you got to gnaw on stuff, keep them shredded down. And she knows all about that. Like they know, they take care of her.
Of course.
I understand what you want for breakfast. Anything? Keep it slim and trim.
He just works out.
Can't hear you.
I just ordered like a bowl of assorted fruits. That's it.
Yeah, they got you. Fruit breakfast is the way to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ravi, anything special or?
I'd probably go down to the cafeteria to eat.
Okay. You'll go down there. Most of the like soldiers and everybody would have eaten a lot earlier than the time that you'd be getting up to go down there. It's good that you're heading out because you got to go all the way down to the ground floor and then get back up to the second floor. So you're getting a chance to stretch out your legs and get your ankle sort of in better condition, warmed up for the day. At the cafeteria, Tank will still be working on his salad from the morning. There'll be some other people. A lot of like families will be there at this time with like kids and stuff, doing brunch or like a late breakfast before they get off to doing something else. What do you want to order when you get to the cafeteria?
I'll ask them whatever popular breakfast food is and do it the same way I did last time.
Okay. They've got a sort of, I guess it would be a big fruit basket with a bunch of different fruits put together. Some fruits that they put in there are ones that get picked early in the morning, like at dawn, and are spoiled before the end of the day. So like there's the peak ripeness lasts for only a few hours. And now's the best time to get them. The main ingredient of this dish is going to be a fruit that comes in sort of like a long pod, almost like a pea pod. But on the inside, there's got big black seeds that have like a white flesh around them. You take them off piece by piece, and they taste like cotton candy. You're not supposed to eat the seeds. You suck the flesh off the seed, and you spit the seed out.
This is quite delicious, I will say to probably no one, but just to myself.
Do you not sit next to Tank? You just let him eat a salad by himself?
No, I'd probably sit like kitty corner from him.
Okay.
Like across the table, but to like the left or the right a little bit.
I'm hearing my thoughts out loud.
I don't think so. That was me, Tank.
It was me. I knew it.
I'll nod at him unless he like says something to me and just keep eating.
Oh, I see. You've got the fruit.
It's quite good.
Yes. I haven't seen you around here too often.
No, I'm kind of new in town.
You've taken the tour, I hope.
Sure have.
There's a bit of something exciting. A group of diplomats showed up yesterday. I gave them a tour of the fortress myself.
Yeah, and what'd you think of them?
They didn't strike me at first glance as typical
Everyone started telling me.
government envoys. They sort of seemed like a ragtag group of misfits. But I suppose in Karenia there's not as much uniformity as there is around here.
No, especially not now.
do well with the Empress. She's been in a bad mood.
Yeah? Why's that?
Oh, because of that business down in the blanket jungle. Causing her problems, you know.
What sort of problems? Like I said, I'm new into town.
Oh, just the villagers down there have been complaining. I can't remember why.
I see. Do you know someone who might?
You know who might know about it. Empress Pardid.
I was meaning someone other than her, but I think that's a good point, Tank.
I can't get you an audience with her, but maybe you could catch those diplomats on their way out. See if they know anything.
You know what? That's a good idea. I will do my very best. Thank you.
Don't mention it. I'm always giving helpful tips.
I will finish my food and then head back upstairs.
All right. Each of you will individually be collected by standard guards of the Tempe Fortress. Tank doesn't come to get you. He doesn't really come up this far anymore. Too many steps. So you just get some regular Omni guards that each of you individually, and they lead all of you up to the 6th level of the fortress. They wait outside Ravi's room since he's not there. They assume that you go down to the cafeteria for breakfast. So they wait there for you to return. So the other 3 will be waiting outside of Empress Pardid's throne room until Ravi arrives, provided that's what Hajite wants to do.
Yep, sounds good.
Is there anything you want to discuss? Do you have a plan before you go to see the Empress? Nothing. Waiting on Ravi, who might have the plan.
I was waiting for see if Hazate has something to say. I would actually lean into Hazate and be like, just an FYI, I overheard over lunch that some of the other villages have been complaining. Maybe we can leverage that. You know, agree to try to take care of whatever their problem is.
Complaining about what?
I have no idea. That's the problem.
So here's another thing we gotta solve for this country.
I'm hope. I was in the cafeteria and Tank mentioned it, so
Tank.
I know that he is probably senile, and this could be from like 100 years ago, but I think he might be onto something this time.
Oh, this time? Okay. Well, I don't have anything in particular to speak with her about. I mean, the mission's very obvious, but we don't really know anything about Mochiba.
Now, the only thing that I know is, again, coming from Tank, that she's in a bad mood. She's in a bad mood because something bad is happening.
This is worse. Why?
And we can ask her about Gideon as well. I'm really intrigued on why he's not allowed to come in.
Yeah, because that's a good idea to talk to someone who's in a bad mood about something that they don't want to talk about and they might be in a bad mood about.
I mean, he helped us out. We should know what's happening.
I think we bring that up after we solve whatever the problem is.
If it comes down to that, obviously.
Curiosity could kill you, you know.
Why didn't you ask Gideon?
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
All right.
It never crossed my mind.
I mean, that might be a question to save for him, as opposed to us proposing it to the Empress.
Might be
I mean,
uncomfortable calling
I
someone
do
old
like
job
to
and
hear
asking them how good they are.
I do like to hear both sides of the story, you know.
Do you want me to
Do
ask this big
references?
tree? Because I really want an excuse to talk to this big tree.
I mean, you can ask the big tree anything you
Ooh,
want, and that actually
yeah.
might be a good idea.
Yes,
Wait,
I didn't
probably have the answer for
like
all
ask
our
Tree
any
wants to know
questions.
the
questions earlier. I
room.
was just gonna talk to it, but if you guys have questions, I guess I could do that.
I mean, if you can talk to the tree and it like overhangs the throne room, maybe ask it what the Empress is upset about.
So the throne room is above the tree. Those large trees in the center of the fortress stop before the top of the fortress. The fortress is taller than the trees are. So if you wanted to talk to one of those massive trees, you'd have to go back down and into the fortress again. But the meeting with the Empress is now. That would probably be a breach of etiquette.
That's fine. If I had time in the morning, I was going to, but probably just too.
I mean, guards came and got you, and they're like, "It's
Yeah.
time to go now."
Yeah.
Well, in that case, we do what we always do: wing it.
We can't hear Ian.
I
I could.
can hear Ian. Ian. I can't speak.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear anybody.
Ah,
Uh-oh.
It's my problem.
I can hear
Oh.
everybody.
Yeah.
There we go.
Can you hear us? Okay,
Okay.
there
That was
you
my
go.
time to get messed up.
I said, well, in that case, we do what we always do: wing it.
Yeah, except we both said it at the same time.
Perfect.
It worked out well.
All right, and as you say it, you'll open the doors to head into the throne room.
The drama.
When you head inside, you'll notice that there is no source of light on the inside of the throne room. It is very dark in there. The guards will close the doors behind you, and you won't be able to see. If you've got dark vision, you can kind of make out what's going on in this room, but not all of you do. Do you want a light source, or are you satisfied with just not being able to see what's going on?
I have dark vision and I would like to make a perception check and see what I can see inside. And as well, I have my hood and mask on.
You are wearing the mask.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd also like to check with dark vision.
Hajate and Arvistan, before anyone produces a light source, what you'll see is the whole room is kind of set up like a jungle gym. It's built like those people that they have a house cat and they build like shelves that go all around. It's like all built to be like a cool place for their cat to hang out in. All looks kind of like that. It looks like trees. It looks like big jungle trees, but they're not actually rooted down or anything. So it's all like fake. It's carved out of wood and set up to kind of like look like trees, but it's placed in such a way that it's easy to maneuver and climb up and down around branches. And there are ropes and little rope ladders and stuff hanging all over. Does anyone want to produce a light source to see in here?
I would not.
Yeah.
No.
I would not either.
Arstan and Hachete make perception checks.
That is a natural 19.
That is a 9. Woo!
That'll be 24.
Arstan, you can spot a figure stalking you in the room, climbing around on branches up above you. It's an omni person sort of like a cross between an opossum and an ocelot. Uh, Kind of maneuvering around in the dark and positioning just above you and looking down at you with sort of this like wiry tail flicking back and forth. And these like big bare black hands gripping onto the edge of the branch.
I looked at it and said, "Why, hello there. Yeah, are you the one we come to talk with? Are you the Empress?"
Well, that depends. Who are you supposed to be? An assassin?
Nope. And I kindly remove my mask and my hood, show my face. I am not. I just don't like how I look, and that's why I cover myself.
I was told that a woman was in charge.
Yes, ma'am. And I give a bump to Hashote.
Hello.
So you're the famous Hajate Zulshu.
I didn't believe I was famous, but it is an honor for you to say that.
I don't receive many messages from Talon Lintoko naming someone who's coming to visit me.
I'll tell him I appreciate the favor he gave us.
So, why does Karenia choose now to send envoys to come speak with the Empress of Mochipa?
While they're talking, I just put my hood and my mask on again.
I'm afraid we aren't in the best of circumstances.
I see. There's an issue across the ocean.
Yes, but I hear that ours is not the only issue that seems to be going on right now.
You hear? It's strange. I don't think we've sent any diplomats to Karenia anytime recently. I wonder how it is you might have heard of some issue happening in Mochipa.
We haven't been here very long, but I have made friends.
And I'm sure Talon Lintoko sent you across the sea to come and solve our problems? Karenian saviors, yes?
No, that's not why we were sent, but we were interested.
Why don't you tell me why you're here?
We were looking for more militant expertise to aid us in a problem we've been having.
You need a military.
Somewhat.
What problem requires an army?
Well, unfortunately, there's been somewhat of a war going on. I don't know if you've heard of anything, but we're not the only nation that's having the issue.
A Karenian war.
Not just Karenian.
Then who?
South of Karenia, the mountains, it's spread quite far at this point with the Internum invasion scattering across the entire continent, unfortunately.
What has Internum invading Karenia? They keep behind their rocks.
Frankly, I'm not entirely sure, but we are not without casualties.
I see. And you would seek a Mochipan army to add to your body count?
We would seek any sort of aid you could possibly give us. Frankly, we were looking for more aid that's dedicated to casting magic, perhaps a weaponry, anything that would be able to assist us. Unfortunately, they've been using somewhat of wizards in their military to cause larger issues with ours.
Talon told me he was sending a Kyrenian diplomat, but now that I see you, I don't see a Kyrenian, do I?
You're very astute. No, I'm not from Kyrenia.
Why do you speak for them?
It's been an entire dilemma that I've gotten myself involved in because my homeland doesn't exist anymore.
I see. Tell me about the monsters.
Monsters.
Talon tells me there's some kind of destructive force in Tarsaria.
Oh, I wasn't sure how much he shared with you, but that is correct. Tarsaria is borderline annihilated.
I would urge you that if there's information you possess, it would be in your best interest to divulge it. Do not assume that because Talon has not told me something that you shouldn't.
I didn't think that was a problem that you would be coming over to solve. I was not sent here for that sort of situation.
But it
But
is a problem nonetheless. A problem for Kyrenia.
it could be.
And
It hasn't
thus,
gotten
a
in
problem
that
for Kyrenia would be a problem for an ally of Kyrenia.
I would agree. You're only as good as your allies.
So you're fighting a battle on two fronts.
We're not the only ones. There's also several refugee camps. But yes, there are monsters from the north and attackers from the south. And it's not going super well.
And you're
I could
sent
share with
here.
you that
Go ahead.
Tarsaria isn't there anymore, and we experienced many large monsters, not just in the desert, but at the sea as well.
Tarsaria is a small nation, but not a weak one.
Yes, unfortunately, it didn't seem particularly difficult for those monsters to take it down either.
And so you've come here to ask me to risk my people to save a nation that no longer exists.
I wouldn't say that would be entirely the point. Kyrenia still exists, and from what I've seen, it wouldn't be long until they start heading out into the ocean as well. We did see them. For what it's worth,
Pardon,
it'd be better to fight on a much larger expanse of land.
pardon my intrusion, and I do apologize. But is there
Take
some way?
that hood off your head.
Okay.
Don't speak to me like a child.
I was just wondering if there was a possibility to light up the room so the rest of our friends here can see you as well.
You're not comfortable.
Um, not very comfortable in this darkness.
You've been welcomed into my home. We've given you the best of our rooms to stay in. We've parted with our food to fill your bellies. I've even sent one of my most trusted captains to lead you through and tell you all the secrets of our fortress. But you complain about your level of comfort.
I do apologize, and I am really grateful for it. And it's not just for my uncomfortness because I can see you clearly, but my other friends can't.
Tell me
And
something. What is your name?
Arvestan Perlantasil.
Have you ever given an apology, Arvestan Perlantasil, that was not followed by a but? It's not really an apology, is it?
If you put it that way, yes, that is true.
Arvestan Perlantasil, I would advise you not to speak further.
Okay.
Hajate, what is this group that you've assembled?
Well, we've traveled far and wide internationally, and we've come across many a situation amongst the land.
I see a Tarsarian, a Karenian, some sort of wild folk, and a fool. Interesting that you don't have a Machipan among your ranks.
I've yet to have the pleasure to have the Mochipan amongst our ranks. I have not spoken to many. A good friend of mine is from Mochipa, though.
Who's this?
No. Maybe it's best not to say his name. We have a friend back home who came over as a child, and he didn't remember quite any information about Mochipa. But Mochipan, nonetheless, we did work with him underground.
I'll have to contemplate this turn of events. Tell me, you say that you don't expect Karenia to succeed in the coming battle.
I don't believe I ever said that. I don't believe that they will succeed on their own without any aid from you.
Yes, that's what I mean, of course. You could only see a victory in a Karenian Mochipan alliance.
Correct.
You seek either Mochipan warriors or Mochipan weapons. Is this correct?
Correct. We would prefer both assistances, of course.
You've told me that some of the assailants on the nation of Karenia have made their way into the sea that separates our nation from theirs. Is that correct?
Some of the monsters from the north in Tarsaria made it into the sea.
And do you believe that those monsters are coming here?
I believe that somehow they're developing themselves for water travel.
And would you consider it a wise choice for a leader of a nation of this size to divide her forces, sending some to a foreign war while there are monsters bearing down on her shores?
I believe that if we made an effort to take down the root at its source, the entire tree might fall.
You believe?
That is my belief, yes.
How many people do you think you'll need?
I'm going to look at Ravi. I don't know anything about military.
Is there a sort of check I can make to decipher how many troops I think we would need?
A very difficult insight check.
Why did they leave this up to us?
We don't know
That's
anything.
a good question.
It's not bad. It's a 23.
Oh, hey.
Ooh, okay.
That's not
So,
bad.
based on what you know, there are some things that you don't know enough about, right? So, the invasion from Internum, you have no idea the number of the forces that they have. The best information that you got about that is that they took Baylor's Post, which is a town very close to the border, without any casualties. So that doesn't really give you an idea of the size of their forces or exactly what kind of armament they're dealing with. They forced most of the mountain people out and into the forest. You don't know exactly what sort of invasion forces were doing that. So you don't know how many are coming from Internum or what you would need to be able to counter something like that. Clearly, when you came back to Kyrenia in the first place and you went to talk with the council, Talon and the others, or at least some of the others, seem to have an impression that Kyrenia might be able to fight that war, based on the information that they had at the time. So that one's kind of an unknown. You don't know what you need to cover that. You know about the judge. You don't know exactly what the judge's plans are. The judge is over in Tarsaria in a desert. There's a forest separating that from Kyrenia, but it's a big thing, and there's no reason to think that having devoured most of the life in one country that it won't just move on to the next one and continue that rampage. It doesn't seem like something that the Kyrenian army can tackle. Your best guess is that you can't put a number on this. You need everything, anything that you can get.
Do I have an idea how many troops they do have here?
Mochipa is larger than Kyrenia, so you would think that they would have more, but it's also different because they're dispersed very differently. It's a big jungle. There's not room for people to be like stacked on top of each other like they are in your city. You don't know how many of them are warriors necessarily. Based on, I could guess you could do a history check and maybe try to see if you could remember anything about when Mochipa went to war with Kyrenia.
16.
All right, you know that Mochipan warriors, at least from the past, have a reputation for being fiercer and more dependable than Kyrenian warriors. You don't know how the war would have ended if it had gone all the way through to its natural conclusion, if they had done full attrition against each other, how that might have panned out. Kyrenia has more smiths that are able to manipulate weapons better, so they had a technological advantage that helped them against Mochipa. But an alliance between the two would be a force to be reckoned with. You can't imagine any other army on the planet that could rival those two together.
Okay. Pardon, your Empress. Any person you could spare, and all of them. I don't mean to sound alarmist, but it's worthy of alarm. The judge is what the giant beast is called, tore down the wall at Tarsaria, and I think if it made its way here, it would tear down the wall of Tempe. It is of my opinion that we have to stop it before it crosses the sea to save this land.
Which opinion is that? What's your name?
My name is Ravi Storm. I'm a cleric of Freyr.
I see. What does Freyr say about this war effort?
That we are in a lot of trouble.
I suppose we've heard from 3. We might as well hear from the last.
What more information would you like to know?
I would like to know what information you would provide.
Well, the possibly least understood enemy, these weird bugs, they have the capability to control you.
What do you
And
mean?
they get under your skin and then you're just not the same until it's gone. We encountered some that took some risky surgery to undo. You become like a hive mind against those you were traveling with.
This changes your mind. Does it change your body?
No, but it controls it.
You're certain.
Yes.
We also know that these creatures are currently unable to cross the ocean. When we did discover them, they were all dead for the most part.
But there were worms that survived.
I'll be honest with you. I see no reason to obfuscate my intentions. When Karenia asked for help, my instinctual response was to aid them. I won't deviate from that course. From what you've told me just now, it seems that what we're up against might be too much. I would not see a nation fall while ours did nothing. It seems we've already been too late to prevent that catastrophe. However, there is a matter of internal concern within our own borders. I'm afraid without resolving this issue, we won't be able to provide much help for you.
We could perhaps both share information. We've been known to solve much larger problems than you would think.
I've heard reports from the jungle to the southwest of the fortress of demons. Say they're
Demons.
assailing some of the villages of our most capable warriors. They're doing all they can just to keep themselves alive. I cannot ask those soldiers to leave their homes when they are already in danger.
What do you mean by demons?
I'm afraid I'm not fully understanding their meaning. It seems to be something that they're not familiar with, not something native to the jungle. Perhaps this foe that you speak of is more adept at dealing with the ocean than you might have anticipated.
You believe that we might be talking of the same creatures?
I have nothing else on which to base my beliefs. It's a hypothesis.
Well, the four of us are quite experienced in dealing with such matters. Perhaps you would appreciate us, at the bare minimum, scouting out the situation and getting a better understanding.
You're not my subjects. You could do as you like, provided here it is not against the interests of the Mochipan people. If the issue in the blanket jungle is resolved, I could press their warriors to make a journey across the sea and aid Karenia. Until then, however, I see no feasible way to separate them from their families.
In that case, we will solve the problem.
You're welcome to try.
Whatever reports you've been getting, we would appreciate any and all information you have on the matter, as well as perhaps using Gideon Lagoon to come with us.
What did you just say?
Gideon? He was our envoy here.
You've met with Gideon?
Yes. He was a spectacular envoy. We ran into hardly any trouble due to his assistance.
Is he well?
He's very strong and seems very capable.
Is he here? Has he entered the fortress?
Out of respect for you, he has not entered the fortress. He told us himself.
This is an unfortunate circumstance. If you can convince Gideon to go with you, you are welcome to do so. He is not under my command.
Well, all right. I would appreciate if our envoy could not be so limited on where he's able to go. Is there any particular reason he can't be in here?
He hasn't told you?
No, I'm afraid we're fresh acquaintances.
You'll have to ask him. He never explained it to me.
I'm sorry?
I didn't exile Gideon Lagoon.
According to the guard at the front, he was.
He exiled himself.
All right.
Gideon Lagoon was our greatest soldier, general in charge of our armies. One of the greatest warriors I've ever seen.
He spoke of himself as old and weak, but I haven't seen anything but the contrary.
I can't imagine age affecting him. He's a marvel. I'm sure you've spoken to other people in Mochipa that could attest to the same.
Yes, your country seems quite proud of him.
Not everyone.
What do you mean?
He's not proud of himself.
He seems like someone with a hesitant sort of pride in what he does.
I would encourage you to bring him with you. If he is near, you should find him before he leaves again.
Well, thank you for your advice.
If you can free the warriors out in the jungle, I will get them to Karenia.
Well, thank you.
I don't do it for you, Ajate Zolshu. I do this for Tarsaria.
Well, then, a larger thank you from them.
And she'll scurry off and like hide behind some of her fake leaves and stuff and kind of disappear from view. kind of a non-verbal indication of meetings adjourned.
I'm going to try and lead my blind friends out.
It's not hard. You didn't step in super far. There's only a few steps to get back to the door. You can open up and leave if you so choose. Where would the four of you like to go at that point?
Are there like presumably like guards right outside or anything?
There are, but they're not antagonizing it. They're just guarding the door.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I wanted to try like pulling out a piece of paper and like drawing what the weird worm maggot things looked like to hand to them.
Sure, you could do that. You could do a pretty quick sketch too. I mean, a maggot is not a super complicated creature to make a drawing of. You're going to hand it to the guards and tell them what?
This is for the Empress, or I suppose maybe an advisor, I'm not sure, but it's something important we spoke of. Something to watch out for.
I'll make sure it's delivered to her.
All right. Anything else anyone wants to do?
I mean, I want to get my armor.
Apparently, we have another journey, and we have to go pick up our friend.
I mean, it feels like it's pretty important. I don't know if we'll make it to where we're trying to go without him.
Well, let's leave.
You could stop in the rooms that you stated and get whatever equipment that you had left behind. You could keep your ceremonial clothes for meeting with the Empress. They don't have a huge practical purpose, but they are nice, and they're good for meeting with fancy people. It's good diplomat clothes. And then from the upper part of the fortress, you could just take the staircase down to get back out of the fortress again.
Can I give gold to the handmaidens?
Yeah, how much?
Let's do like 2 each, and just do all of them.
They don't want to accept the gold from you. They say, please no, can't.
Well, then I'll have to give it to my girlfriends.
Wait a minute. We've just, you can't pay us. It's not right. We shouldn't be taking money from you. You need that money. That's important.
Not paying. It's for my friends.
For what?
Having fun with me?
You don't have to pay us for that. We were having fun too.
Do you not want to purchase newer materials? It's a gift. Please?
It's not that. We're trying to be polite. It's polite to refuse money from people you don't know very well.
Yeah, and you refuse twice, and then the third time you accept.
Okay, yeah, well then good. Let's go.
Thank you.
And they'll take it then.
Hey, it's only twice. You gotta accept it the third time, or that's rude.
On the way out, Gideon's not at the front gate.
I wouldn't expect him to wait a day.
No, he didn't just sit there and wait for you.
I will send him a message. Gideon, have a mission from the Empress. Could use your help. Could be very dangerous.
You know that your message goes through and Gideon does not respond to you.
I think he's ignoring us.
We were left unread.
Well, do we ask for a different guide?
No. We're gonna have to call him again.
Who are you calling?
Trying to get in touch with Gideon, actually.
Oh, he probably went to go visit his family.
And where are they?
Just head around the corner of the fortress here. Follow the wall all the way down. You're going to see a couple of huts just outside. Get to about the middle of them, make a left, go straight through.
I will look at the rest of the group. Well, do you want to try to bug him at his family, or do you want to try to wait till tomorrow?
Nope. We gotta get him now.
We
I
can
agree.
probably do it.
I think the. I mean, uh, I'd say let's wait one more day so he can enjoy his family if he's at his family, and then the faster that we can solve this problem, the faster we can go back home and fix that problem.
Arvistan, the longer we wait, it seems like he might bolt.
I
If we know where
mean,
he is now,
do you wish that somebody bothered you on while you're visiting and saying hello to your family when you were locked up in jail for a long time?
Arvistan,
I'm just asking, I mean, you're you, you're the leader, you're the one making the choices, but I'm just putting that idea up there. That's all.
I
Why don't
haven't seen my family in years.
Okay.
Let's move.
All right.
Okay. You head to the corner of the fortress. Do the turn like you were instructed. Follow all the way along the length of the fortress. There are some huts around the other side where some people are living just outside of the fortress. You get yourself into the center of those and you turn left. You head straight through. The huts stop popping up. You go past all of the dwellings and start walking past the graves. And you'll see Gideon out into the jungle a little ways. He's standing in front of one. And you could head over to him, but I'd have you all make perception checks on the way.
10.
17.
24.
22.
Okay. Arvstan will be the first to notice, but eventually everyone will see as soon as you notice that Arvstan's kind of like pointing it out as you're walking along. But there's sort of a row of graves leading up to where Gideon is, and the names that are written on them. The first one will say Anton Lagoon, and then the next one says Kivian Lagoon, and then one says Ederon Lagoon, and then there is a noticeably empty plot. And then Gideon is standing in front of the one after that that says Garian Lagoon on the front of it.
You guys see all this, right? They're all looking Gideon's family, but at the same time, what weirds me out is that there's one empty hole, and then there's somebody else buried after that. So that makes me wonder if that's for him or somebody that's missing from his family or something.
Do we all think we should talk to him?
I'm gonna walk up next to him and kind of just put my hand on what would be his shoulder, I suppose.
He's got shoulders, yeah. He's got big front legs, so there's an obvious spot for that. He will say, it was a skirmish north of the mountains. A minor rebellion, not anything I hadn't seen before. But it was Garion's first campaign. He was so excited. He had heard stories of my conquests, all of the wonderful things I had done for Mochipa. Cast a long shadow. I was in command. I thought we had enough men, but they knew the terrain. And they had an ambush waiting. And they say my son is a hero. Like me. But it's not worth this. He is a hero. And all the others here. But this was my fault. I'm not a hero. Not anymore.
I'm sorry. No person should have to bury their son.
You say you need help?
We do.
He'll take a couple steps forward and he'll place his big forehead on the top of the gravestone for a second. And then he'll say, I'm ready to go.
There are claims of demons. We think they might be the same monsters that we're dealing with back in Cafeteria.
It doesn't matter what they're called. If they're a problem, we'll take care of them.
They're not just a problem, they're terrorizing soldiers.
I'll show them what terror means. I think that's where we'll call it for this week. So, on another quest to do another thing. Oh, sucks we got to play D&D. Crap. Get to actually do some stuff in Mochipa, though, so that will be fun and interesting. How diverse can we make a jungle environment? Let's find out.
Indeed.
We're having a good time.
That was pretty interesting. My thought of was that Gideon and the Empress had something, and then something happened. That's why he was not allowed in there.
I
So
think
I guess that's
I
wrong.
think it best not to explain the whole story and just let you infer everything from that point. There might be enough information for you to get an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
Can everybody play next week?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be back then. Then.
It
It's not that funny.
really is. Leave me alone.
Okay. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah.
All right. See you next week. Goodbye, bye.
Bye.